I've got a little bit of glare coming through, or a little bit of highlight on some cactuses. I've got a lot of color. I've got red rocks. I'm probably not going to get any reflection off the water. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. So ND filters for novices like me. Hopefully.
Genderforest.com.
All right, this is Dad Random, and I'm out at one of my favorite video spots. This is just a great chilling spot on Sunday. It's quiet. It's just a little bit breezy today. So with the Mavic Mini, I'm going to have just a teeny bit of a challenge fighting the wind, but anywhere I really want to film in this area is that direction, and which is upwind. So I guess I have to fight the wind going that way. My target area is probably about just about a half of a mile right over there. So that's not too far away. It's right within the Mavic Mini distance. And I'm going to be exploring using the Sunny Life inexpensive ND filters. So I'm not a camera expert. So what I'd like to do is see if the ND filters for this drone, these Sunny Life filters, can at least take away some of the glare. There's a lot of light, so we're good with light. But I'd like to basically pop the colors a little bit without having to do any post-production. So here is an ND4. I'm going to start with the lowest of my ND polarizers, and I'm just going to work through and just experiment with them. You know, we've got some really good stuff. We've got some low sun. I've got a little bit of glare coming through, or a little bit of highlight on some cactuses. I've got a lot of color. I've got red rocks. I'm probably not going to get any reflection off the water. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. So ND filters for novices like me. Hopefully my son is not going to affect it too much, and the wind isn't going to affect my sound. So far, so good. I've had a little bit of camera and sound problems recently, but I think I've got them hammered out. So here we go. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. Let's get the drone up. Let's take some low shots and then go up and see what we can do with the ND filters. We'll just pop through and try each of them and see what happens. All right, Dad Random with the Mavic Mini. And, you know, just a little bit of photography fun today. Have some fun, guys. Remember, we're supposed to be having fun, flying for fun. Remember, flying for fun. Yes. All right, we've got the drone in the air. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my range extenders today because of the line of sight distances I'll be working in, just to make sure my FPV is good. But look, so far, I can already see that my image is a little bit more, I would say, like more in-depth blue. I can see the blues much more in the sky already. So here we go. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of a flight, and then we'll switch out the polarizer filters. So these are Sunny Life filters. These are very inexpensive. This is a set of 4 for about $25. These are not the expensive Freewell ones. But, you know, it's a cheap drone, inexpensive setup. So, hey, why break the bank? But is it going to help us? So here we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and take some still shots too. So I'm going to go up, and I'm going to turn up. Let's go back a little bit here. If I'm gonna crash it today, let's make it crash on land. So I'm gonna turn into the sun a little bit. It says there's strong wind, but it's really not that strong. Maybe 4 to 7. There we go. Now we're turned into the wind. I'm going to snap some photos. Let's go ahead. There's some video right there. A little bit of video. go ahead and... Now I'm in P mode. It seems like we're flying into the wind okay. Get that reflection over there. Get some altitude. But this is an ND4 that I'm filming with right now. Strong wind warning. Raise the camera up a little bit. Get more of the sky and see what happens. Bring the camera down. Max power load reached. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of a pan. And I want to get the water over there. Let's get away from those campers. That's not a cool shot. Let's look out at those bluffs out there. There we go. Strong wind. At least it's blowing in my face. That's a good sign. Get a little, like I said, we'll pan over a little bit. The sun will be almost to the back of the drone here in just a second. There we go. You can see some of those colors pop. And then we will turn in and back. And then we'll switch the filters out. Yeah, she's a little windy. Here, let's go ahead and take those. Let's take the range extenders off. I don't think I'm going to be needing those today. Don't think I'm going to be needing those. Let's go ahead and turn back in there. Here, I'm going to take some still photos of Jackson Peak out there. Let's go ahead and switch that off. Oops, let's go to photo mode. Take some photos. Take some single shots. Oh boy. Take some. I'm gonna change the E values. Overexpose it a little bit, and then I'm gonna bracket these photos and see what happens. I'll go down. We'll change the E value. Let's make them darker, and we'll do one at -3. And then let's take it home. So the quickest way to bring her home, do a little bit of a return to home here.
Go home.
She's sure not liking the wind today. It's a little bit cool too, but the sun is keeping it pretty nice. But this is an ND4. And then I did a little bit of a bracket compilation. All right. All right, we're coming back here. All right, we'll get the drone in view here. There we go. She's flaring out for us. Bring it back in. Cancel that. All right, time to retrieve her, and then we'll get the next filter on. All right, here we go. So, next step is to replace the filters. I'm gonna switch the drone off really quick, so the gimbal's not working against my hand. I'm not fighting against the motors, so we got that. Let's see, turn it off here. There we go. And now you see the filter right there? It just hooks over the back, just like that. They're barely on there. So I'm going to be very careful. Pull this one off. Try not to smudge the filter at all. This is something that that nobody's ever shown me how to pull these filters off and on. I can't imagine it being that difficult, but yeah, it just snaps on there nice. Just fits right over the crown of the. So there's the inside of it. Fits right over the crown of the camera. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace that into the box. They're definitely not an expensive product, but of course you get what you pay for, guys, on just about everything. Let's jump up to a really dark filter. Let's go to an ND32. We've got a lot of suns, so I'm gonna go ahead and go ND32. I'm gonna wipe off my lens really quick, make sure it's clear of any debris. We'll go ND32. Of course, I got some knucklehead coming in here to share my only spot with me. Got a whole entire lake, but this guy's gonna come in and that's okay. We're gonna film with with company, it looks like. Go ahead and reconnect up the drone. Now there's definitely a darker hue.
Please check it on the map.
For sure. Much darker. You can see that the highlights, and this is with the screen resolution turned all the way up.
Morning.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Are you coming often here?
Excuse me?
Are you coming often here?
Can you what now? Can you?
Are you coming often here to that lake? Have you been here many times or?
Oh yeah, yes.
And what are kind of the regulations here regarding fishing?
This is a reservoir, so it's. I've never fished here, but I'm guessing probably you're gonna find you might find trout in here, probably bass. You'll probably find some small bass and things like that, but that kind of fishing.
And kind of stuff on the front, when we enter here, to see if they have like what kind of bait I can use and stuff like that. But
yeah, I
didn't see any kind of regulations. And
as far as regulations for bait and fishing, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm not a fisherman, so
yeah, I see.
I am from where I'm from, but I'm not familiar with the fishing regulations here. Usually the small, the pan fishing you can fish year round. But there are certain seasons for certain fish. It's small, right, Dead Random, we're back. Now I'm filming with an ND32. So let's go ahead and launch and see what ND32 gives us. I'm going to go and bring the drone low, take some low shots. Once again, I'm going to take some shots of the Jackson Peak. Same thing. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Jackson Peak. Let's get some photographs. Different EV values. Let's do a couple up. We'll step it up a little bit, overexpose the sky. These are kind of fun to create those dynamic range or extra dynamic range in your photographs. And then you bring them into post-production. And let's go down here a little bit. Let's drop it down. You want to get them kind of uncomfortably dark. And that will basically help you with the sky, and then you lighten it up for the ground. It should help the water as well. Let's do one more and see what happens here. Well, that's way low. All right. Now let's go ahead and do some filming. So this is an ND32. ND32. If I said a 36, I meant to say 32. All right, we'll go there, and we'll do some recording. All right, here's some ND32 recording. The sun's kind of still been doing kind of the same thing. There is a filtering of clouds, but also we have a little bit of a wind. So I'll fight the wind a little bit and see where this takes us. The drone doesn't love the wind much. I am getting those strong wind warnings, but still pretty out there. So ND32 filter. Here, I'm going to expose, I'm going to lock the exposure. The auto exposure set at negative 0.7. And I'm going to leave it there because that looks good. The sky looks not too bad. Now, I didn't turn the histogram on, so I'm just guessing right now. I'm going to fly up the lake. And I'm going to put this puppy in, I'm going to go into S mode here. And we're going to fly in S mode. So we have plenty of power. Now there is a boat down there. Let's see if we can get that boat in our filter there. It's kind of, ooh, that's kind of pretty there. There's the water. Oh, I missed him. We'll see, we'll get him on the way back. Strong winds. But we're getting good speed even with the strong wind warning. So I'm going to take her over to the other side of the lake here. Got a fresh battery in. I'm going to use all 3 batteries today. We're not even going to mess around. But I've got the exposure locked. I let the camera decide what was the best exposure, and we're using the strongest of our ND filters. Wow, against the wind, we're only getting about 8 miles an hour, so I got to really watch it. But, oh man, I call it strong wind is putting it a little bit more difficult than it really is. Hey, you have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Hey, nice visiting with you. I wished I would have been able to give you a little bit more fishing info. Yeah. I'm a tech geek, so. Now, that's about as far as I'm going to go in the wind. It's saying, it's too windy. So I'm going to turn a little bit. Oh boy. I really don't like I don't like to film in S mode at all. But I took my reflectors, my parabolic reflectors off. There's a breeze coming up again. These are just breezes, guys. I know at higher altitudes it's, they don't call them breezes up there, but she's handling the wind pretty good. I'm not complaining. I really am looking forward to seeing this film because it just looks really good. And I've always needed filters. I've rarely flown with filters, and with the type of landscape and the heavy light that I have to deal with on a regular basis, it just is you got to have it. I'm getting a little bit of signal interference. I have no idea why I'm getting signal interference. But there we go. Of course, now it's flying really fast because of the wind-aided performance here. There we go. Gives us an idea. I'm sitting on this. I'm on this little. You can see this little peninsula that's pushing out. All right. So the ND4. I'm thinking the ND4 is something I should probably have on all the time, just to improve my light performance. I just know it would really help. But we'll see. We'll see how it produces. Now I'm going to do a couple of shots really quick once I get back. And there's a really pretty shot here that's... Let me go ahead and let me turn off the film here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. There's this... Let me get... Sometimes you don't need to get hundreds of feet to get a cool shot. And I can see one right now. So I'm going to get the drone here. I'm going to point it, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here in just a second. There we go. This is the shot I'm talking about, guys, right here. Right here. There it is, right there. Okay, I'm going to... So video-wise, this is what I'm looking at right here. I'm looking into the wind. Now you can see that I'm moving around. So I'm going to do is I'm going to take a couple of still photos. Take a couple of still photos right into that. So I'm going to go down and do some adjusting here. Let's turn the video off. Let's go to our photo. There we go. Let's make sure we're getting I want to make sure we're getting our 16 by 9. That's perfect. Wow, that's dark. Whew, man, that is the EV value is so dark. I'm going to turn it up a little bit so we can highlight a little bit more. There we go. Look at that. So let's get a couple of shots here. Let's get some multiple EV values there. Let's highlight those cactus there. Those are I think those are called staghorn cactuses. Get the low there. Get a couple of shots there. Let's do the lowest. That's way too dark. That's terrible. And then what we'll do is we'll put those in order, and then we'll see what happens. Wow, it's just buffeting here. Let's back it up a little bit and get some wider. And get a wider angle there. Right there. Let's go ahead and put it at 0. This is the middle of our EV spectrum right there. All right, that's just a different view. All right, let's go out there. Let's get some. Let's see if I can get it. Let's see if I can get another shot here through the. Now these are different shots that you can get just by these are things you can't do with a regular camera. You can't get a lot of these perspectives. That's what makes drones that important, I think, to photography. Is you just get angles you just can't get with any other tool. So we go ahead and now what are we doing battery wise? We're at 52%. Let's see if we can let's get a shot this way. Right there. You see how those are highlighted? See that? See how those rocks are highlighted there? Let's get it down there. Let's see. Slide it over. Turn a little bit. Right there. Let's get some of that water. Get some of that sky in there. And all right. So there it is. Let's do multiple EV. Let's see if I can get multiple EV. Let's go one high. Now you really could do it. You could bracket this with 3 photos. You don't need like 5 photos. But the more you get, the more you can change the depth of the photo. All right. So there's that. All right. But this is kind of what my limits are today. It is. Here, let me go ahead and do some filming here. You guys, I'm gonna make sure we get some video today, right? Let's hit that video button. But it is just amazing out here. All right, let's get us in there. Hold on here, let me back up. Get us in the shot there. All right, here we go. But for Dad Random and our what's it called? We got Sunny Life, which is a company that also makes the they also make the range extender. But they also make these very inexpensive filters for the Mavic Mini. So, all right. So for Dad Random, we go ahead and for Dad Random, I'm gonna go ahead and save my last flight for fun. Yes, I probably am not gonna go very far today, just because of the wind. This definitely is, is something that I have to take into consideration with this drone. But anyways, for Dad Random and basically playing with photography, guys. I am not a professional photographer, but I'm learning, and I think if you fly camera drones or GPS drones, it's part of that the learning curve. So for Dad Random, yes, okay, try it. Maybe it'll improve your photography performance. It's supposed to create what they call motion blur, and motion blur is supposed to make your work just that much better because it gives it more of the natural look as opposed to the synthetic look that a real crisp video or photograph basically gives you. Less detail, more of that softness and richness. So yes, Dad Random, later, and bye.